Welcome you all students. We shall move to the second half of the fourth unit, development of surface. Okay. In the industrial world, the knowledge of development of surface plays a vital role in fabrication of the chimney, then furnace, funnel, then I can say in the automobile parts building, ship building, as well in the aircraft too. Okay. So what do you mean by development of surface? Development of surface in the sense, I can say it means unfolding or unrolling of all the surface of an object on a plane is known as development of surface. Unfolding or unrolling of all the surface of an object on a plane, we call it as a development. Okay, what it exactly mean? I can show the example by showing the prism. Okay, first one I'm going to take a prism. Here I am going to take square prism for the observation. This is a square prism. It has two bases, top base and bottom base. These are the rectangular faces. Okay. The square prism concern, I can say in the 3D view, it looks like this. Right? It looks like this. Like this. Square prism. So see, as far as this development of surface concern, what we do is we assume this object is a hollow. It's not a solid. We assume it is a hollow. And what we do is we used to cut at the left extreme. And we used to unfold it. Okay. So what happened? Just imagine if it is a hollow object, a square prism, when you cut at the left extreme and from the rear side, if you stretch it off, what happens? You could able to see the rectangular shaped stretch out. Am I right? I can say if you do it, you will get a rectangular stretch out on a plane like this manner. Am I right? The stretch out will be proportional to the number of sides or number of the rectangular faces. It's a square, so it has 4 faces. So see, here it has 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 faces. What happens? The top base and bottom base. This is how when you unfold it happens. Here it will be a top face or bottom face. This is how happen when you are unfolding it. Okay. So this is the stretch out when you are cutting the prism, like any kind of prism maybe. It may be a triangular prism, it may be a hexagonal prism, it may be a pentagonal prism. It will be a rectangular stretch out, but it will be proportional to the number of sides. Okay. And if you take the measurement of this segment, I can say it will be equal to the base edge measurement. If the base edge is with the A, then it gives the distance A. And length, the full length, I can say full length of the stretch out is equal to the length of perimeter. Equal to the length of perimeter. Perimeter in the sense what? Number of sides into what? Distance of a side. Number of sides into A. So if you take the entire length, it gives the perimeter length for any prism. Okay. Then I can show the cylinder. I can show the cylinder See, this is the cylinder, am I right? This is how this cylinder will be. This is how the cylinder will be. 3D object I have it. So this is the cylinder. It has two bases and these are the generators. These are the generators. Okay, fine. If you cut at the left extreme and if you just stretch it off from the rear side, something like this, here as well you could able to see the rectangular face. In the stretch out you could able to see the rectangular face. Rectangular face. This rectangular face length will be equal to the circumferential length, that means pi into d. Pi into d. The stretch out length will be equal to pi into d, circumferential length. Pi into d. D stands for diameter of the cylinder. Okay. When you go to the part of, I can say the third one, I can show the pyramid. Here just assume the square pyramid, okay, just assume the square pyramid. The 3D model I have it. So this is a square pyramid. The square pyramid consists, it has one base, it has a base, and this is the apex or vertex. Okay, fine. These are the triangular faces, these are the slant edges. Here comes, when you are assuming it is a hollow and when you are having a cut at the left extreme, okay, what happens, you could able to see when you stretch it out from the rear side, you could able to see the triangular faces. The triangular faces will be proportional to the number of sides. Here it is square prism. Here it is square prism. So you'll get 4 triangular faces here. Something like this. If you do the stretch out, you get 1, 2, 3, and 4. 3 and 4. What? Triangular faces. Each segment will be with a measurement equal to the what? This side or edge measurement. If I take this as A, this length will be A. This length will be A. One more thing I can show you. Cone. You know cone, am I right? The 3D model, we can show something like this. This is the cone. I have a 3D model. This is a cone. Cone in the sense it has base. These are the generators and this is the apex or vertex. Am I right? So here concerns, I'm going to assume this is a hollow object. It's not a solid. And from the left extreme, I'm going to cut. From the rear side, I'm going to what? Remove it. And just making this stretch out on the plane. What happens here as well in the same like pyramid, you could able to see the triangular face. Okay, triangular face. You'll get the triangular face something like this. And when you're forming the triangular face here, it forms the angle theta. Angle theta. Okay. This theta can be calculated by the radius of the base of the cylinder divided by slant length into 360 degree. What do you mean by slant length? Slant length in the sense, this length, generator line, show the slant length. Here comes in the square, you can say this is the slant length of the prism. Okay. Here comes these H longer edges shows the slant length. The difference is in the cylinder and cone there is no edges, so intermediate there is no edges. Okay, intermediate there is no edges. When you are solving the problem for the cylinder, we need to take the formula pi into d in order to get the rectangular face. Okay, here in the cone, in order to get the triangular face, we need to calculate theta value. That is small r divided by SL into 360 dear. Okay, SL in the sense slant length. Okay, in the development of surface we used to follow two methods. We need to follow two methods. One is parallel line method, and the second one is radial line method. Okay, radial line method. In the parallel line method we can solve or we can develop the surface like prism, cylinder and cube. Okay, by using the radial line method we can get the stretch out of the lateral surface of the cone and pyramids. Okay, cone and pyramids. Okay, in the parallel line method, see, when you are seeing the prism stretch out, all the rectangular faces are forming what? The rectangular faces and the longer edges are what? Parallel to each other. Am I right? So the method used to follow in the prism, we call it as parallel line method. The same will happen in the cylinder as well. If you see it in the cube, the same will happen. We will be using the parallel line method. Radial line method in the sense, with the help of the slant edge is called as a radial edge, we can say. With the help of the radial edges, what we do is we used to form the triangular faces, okay, in the pyramid and cone. So pyramid and cone can be solved by using the radial line method. Okay, fine. And then we used to say lateral surface. Just draw the development of lateral surface of any of the prism or cone, something like that. There will be a say. What do you mean by lateral surface? Lateral surface in the sense development of any of the object without the top or bottom face. The object which is developed, we can call it as lateral surface. Without considering the top face or bottom face, we call it as lateral surface. In our syllabus, lateral surface development is there, so we will be neglecting the top face and bottom face. Okay, so if the development is made without having the top face or bottom face, then we can call it as lateral surface. Development of surface without what? The top or bottom face, which is called as what? Lateral surface. Here the cylinder concern, when you are forming the development of full objects, top face and bottom face will be forming, but lateral surface we need to neglect those things. Okay, we need to neglect those things. Here as well in the pyramid, when you are forming, there will be a base. Am I right? There will be a base. In the lateral surface, we need to neglect it. In the cone as well, when you are forming, there will be a base. Am I right? There will be a base. In the lateral surface, we need to neglect it. Only we need to provide the surface of the triangular faces or the rectangular faces for the prism. Okay, I hope you understood the concept of development of surface. Okay, in the coming videos I will be posting the problems based on the development of surface, so that you will be getting more idea to the concept. Thank you so much.